Hi guys! So I've come a very long way since I was younger, especially since I was in high school and in college, especially when it comes to food, body image, eating, all those things. And there are certain pieces of advice that I wish I could go back and tell myself that I wish I knew back then, because I think life would have just been a lot easier for me and I would have just had more confidence and more direction. So these are the things that I wish I could go back and tell little younger Janae. Number one, don't be so picky. When I was a kid, I was so picky because my parents spoiled me and they let me say, I don't want to eat this, I don't want to eat that, even though they really probably should have made me try it and I may have liked it. But I was so picky, and because of that pickiness carried into my early 20s. I mean, I wasn't even eating like certain fruits, most fruits. I wouldn't eat pears, I wouldn't eat bananas until I was like 21. And I wish I could tell myself, don't be so picky, because I'm missing out on so many delicious foods, so many things that are good for you, so many things that are like easy to grab and go instead of eating junk food. Also, by being so picky, I was really like making my life difficult. If somebody prepared something for me and it had onions in it, I wouldn't eat it. And so I would just not eat anything, or I'd eat some junk food. So I wish I had not been so picky back then. You know, your taste buds change over time. Also, maybe you don't like the way, you know, you've had Brussels sprouts prepared in the past because your grandmother only boiled them. But maybe try them a different way. Try roasting them, or try eating them raw into shaving them to like a salad. I used to hate Brussels sprouts and now I love them. There's so many different ways that you can eat one food. So just because you don't like it that one way you've had it doesn't mean you don't like it altogether. So keep an open mind. Number two, eat less junk food. When I was younger, I used to love packaged cookies, especially the chewy, what are they, Chips Ahoy cookies? Also these chewy oatmeal raisin cookies. Now I thought those were healthy because they were oatmeal raisin. I would eat a whole bag of Fig Newtons in one sitting, Lorna Doone, because for some reason I thought Lorna Doone cookies were healthy. I think the packaging makes you think that. Anyway, I ate so much junk food and I knew it was bad for me because my mom would tell me, and after I would eat it and be like, oh mom, I don't care, I would actually feel really guilty. So I wish back then I had realized that there are other things I could have been eating if I wanted a snack, not just junk food. For example, I love eating fresh fruit. Granted, back then I only liked a handful of fruits, but I could have been eating those instead and getting real benefits out of them, instead of feeling guilty every time I finished a whole entire package of Costco-sized Fig Newtons. You are what you eat. My grandmother used to tell me that all the time, and when I was younger, I didn't really follow that advice. But now that I'm much older, I've really started to understand that lesson, and it's gotten through to me. I didn't necessarily believe that when I was a kid because I didn't have anything to compare it to. I was eating one way and I felt the way I felt, and I had never tried something else. But now that I'm older and I do eat healthy and all the good stuff, I can look back and realize, wow, like, I really wasn't giving myself the fuel. I really could have been feeling so much better. Also, not having to deal with acne and stomach problems and all sorts of other stuff. If you eat just junk food, then you're going to feel like junk. Your body is going to react negatively to it. But if you eat fresh, vibrant, colorful fruits and vegetables, then you're gonna feel fresh and vibrant and colorful and full of energy, because that's what you're putting into your body. Something that I think is extremely interesting, and I knew like intuitively, fruits and vegetables help make you a happier person. Like science actually says so. I will link the study down below, what I'm talking about. But it actually makes you a happier person, more energetic, and of course that can lead to more confidence. So if you're a young person, if you're in high school or college, come on, we need as much happiness and confidence as we can possibly get, and we're not getting it from junk food. I can tell you that because I learned that the hard way. There are more productive ways to cope. When I was younger, say when I was in high school, I went to junk food, eating a whole entire bag of whatever thing to cope with how I was feeling. Maybe I was feeling depressed, maybe I was feeling exhausted, maybe I was feeling who knows what, mad at my mom, who knows. And then when I was in college, I went to things like alcohol. I mean, I was never drinking like Well, yes, I did drink too much. And anyways, there are better ways that I could have been coping with these situations in life. Like I said, like the depression and feeling overwhelmed from school and family and all these other things. Now, I realize that instead of drinking alcohol, instead of doing drugs, instead of eating a ton of junk food, I could be doing something like meditating or practicing yoga or spending time outside in nature or just even going for a walk around my neighborhood or even just unplugging, getting off of my phone, reading a book, or just taking a nap. All of those things are a lot more productive, helping you cope with all of life's pressures because they don't have the side effects that, say, drinking alcohol and eating junk food do. I mean, those things are really damaging to your life. They can lead to all sorts of health issues and relationship problems. Whereas if you do something productive like sitting and meditating or practicing yoga, the side effects are you feeling better, not brushing something under the rug, but feeling better and being able to think more clearly and just be a better representation of who you really are. Do not strive for perfection. Now, this is for all stages of life. I really had to learn that, especially like post-college years, because pre and during college I wanted to especially look a certain way. I was super obsessed with my body, but I wasn't obsessed like I was doing a really, really good job and I was like a bodybuilder or something like that. I was just obsessed with everything that was wrong with me. I'm not perfect. My hair is not like this. My body's not like this. My nose is not like this. All these things. Because I was looking for perfection and it made me so crazy and it made me feel so bad. Whereas now, I don't strive for perfection in anything I do anymore. I want to be the best that I can possibly be, but I found that striving for perfection, whether it comes to your diet or your lifestyle or how you look or your career or anything else, it just leads to you setting yourself up for failure in a way because everybody always has setbacks. And those setbacks, when you're a perfectionist, hurt really, really bad. Also, when you're a perfectionist, it's really hard to get started. Like I said, I was obsessed with looking a certain way, but I wasn't actually doing the things that were necessary, to look that way. I wasn't working out, I wasn't eating the right things, I wasn't doing any of those things. Knowing that I could never be perfect made it so that I never even started to try. So screw all that, throw all that stuff all out the window. Don't try to be perfect, just try to be a better person. And when you do have setbacks, whether it be with diet or whatever else, accept those things as setbacks and keep moving on. Dare to be yourself. Now, here in the United States, I know how hard that is, especially when it comes to nutrition, because in our country, most people are eating a standard American diet, which consists of garbage food like McDonald's and Pizza Hut and like no vegetables, very, very, very little fruit and too much sugar, fat, and salt and all those things. And when everybody around you is eating that way, I understand it's hard for you to do something different. Say you're thinking about becoming vegan, like everybody else around you is eating standard American, you're gonna be the one person, right? But it takes you stepping out of what everybody else is doing to really make a change in your life, and you can also help the people around you as well. When I first became vegan, I was the only person in my friend group, my close friend group, and my family group that was vegan. And at first they thought that was kind of strange and unnecessary, and I kind of thought that before I went vegan too. But by me becoming vegan and stepping out and daring to be myself, I've helped influence my family and friends. Some of them are vegan now. I have all sorts of people around me in my life who've also been inspired to become vegan. And so just by being you, you can give other people permission to be themselves as well. Okay, finally, this is the one that I wish that I had heard the most because I think it would have helped me with everything else, and that's to stop eating meat and dairy. I didn't eat red meat growing up. I never have in my entire life, but still, chicken and fish I ate. And then dairy. Let me tell you, I was sluggish. I had digestive issues until I actually became vegan. Vegetarian did not help. I've had acne. I had issues with my period, crazy pain, and all these things. And if I had stopped eating those things, my health would have been a lot better, of course. But also, I wish I had known that or had heard that because I love animals and I'm very sensitive. I care a lot about animals and the environment and other people, but I didn't know what animals are going through. So if I had had any inkling before, I would have gone vegan a long, long, long time ago. And I tell people all the time, going vegan was the best decision I've ever made in my life to this day, because the trickle down effect of how my life has improved in so many ways is just like, it's unbelievable. So I wish I had heard that when I was younger, for sure. Okay, so those are the things that I wish I could tell my younger self, but I am very, very grateful that I know them today, because they have helped make me a much happier person, for sure. So if you're in that position where, you know, you're younger and you could use some nutrition advice or some lifestyle advice, or know somebody who could, I hope this video and these tips are helpful to you. And of course, if you guys have tips for your younger self, share them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.